Right next to the news, we have our own stew. WIDR Kalamazoo. Right next to the news, we have our own stew. WIDR Kalamazoo. Right next to the news, we have our own stew. WIDR Kalamazoo.
Hello, and thank you. No, that was great. Hello, and thank you for tuning into WIDR 89.1 for episode 13 of Behind the Scenes. I'm your host, Bella Hamid, and this episode's guest is Jackal Blood.
Hello.
Hello. It's super nice to meet you.
It's great meeting you too, Bella. We've been like
texting forever.
Texting forever. And I've been like, oh yeah, this time works. And you're like, this time doesn't work. It's been a constant battle.
Yeah, it's mainly because we have to get like 3 separate schedules all in a row. And so like my days off are not Ryan's days off, are not your days off. So
right.
It can be a struggle. You're not the only one. Don't worry.
Okay, that's
it's
good.
Not just you.
Thank you for making me feel less insecure about my very busy semester.
You're totally fine. And like a lot of people will just like be like, so suddenly I am super ill, or suddenly like I just cannot come, and it's like 20 minutes before. And
oh
I'm
my
sitting
gosh.
in here, and I'm like, huh. Well, okay.
I was actually sick last week.
Yeah.
So I like just got over that like a couple days ago, and I was like, oh my gosh, so
Super
happy
hyped.
about this.
Yeah, for sure. So you do music, and then you're also a music therapy major, right?
Yes, that is correct.
Perfect. So what does that like kind of entail?
Music therapy or being a artist?
Well, let's start with music therapy and move to artist.
Okay. So I guess I'll start off by describing the field a little bit.
Yeah.
My professor on the first day of class of the entire course, whatever, said half of the job of a music therapist is being able to explain what it actually is.
Got it.
Because it's very hard. The technical version is she would be so upset with me right now. It's basically like using music to habilitate and rehabilitate people that are dealing with something. So it doesn't have to be like cognitive. Mm-hmm. It could be something that's like physical. So a lot of music therapy patients or clients end up having speech disorders or motor disorders, or something along those lines where they would need comfort and that rehabilitative property through music, because there's like wirings in the brain that really connect with music and sound.
Super cool. So is like the degree pretty split even on like music and then like psychology of being a therapist?
In my opinion, it tends to be a little heavier on the music, which I'm not a huge fan of, because I tell this to everybody, and I'm so happy to get this on the radio, because I'm saying this straight up. I do not see myself as a music student. I'm a music therapy student. I was completely happy with my musicianship skills and all that stuff way before I came to Western, and I feel like it messed it up a little bit, but it's okay because I'm doing just fine. I'm not saying the music school is bad. It's absolutely incredible, but I never wanted to be a music student. I just like doing, I just really wanted to do music therapy.
Yeah, convo must suck.
Convo credit, it actually hasn't been that bad, because every single person, including my guitar teacher, Matt Landon, he came here as a student for guitar, and he warned me from the very beginning. He was like, you better get those convo credits in. Mm-hmm. And now I'm like almost done. And this is my fourth semester at Western.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I've gotten convo done really fast.
Do you have to have like 144 like all the other ones, or are you on like the
144?
Yeah. Or it's like something crazy like that.
I think mine was like 80, 90, somewhere along that line.
Okay, because like I'm a math major.
Oh, wait, hold on. No, it's 6 semesters and they say 12 each. You should get 12 done in like each semester.
I'm going to get a calculator out.
No, hold on. It's 72.
72. Yeah, so that's what math majors have to do, and we have to do a reduced number.
Okay.
So like performance majors have to do like a crap ton.
I mean, that's not
crazy.
shocking.
Yeah, I
don't actually know the performance number, but I feel like it's something like
it's like 100 and something.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. But they also have like an extra day of convo that math students don't have. So
an extra semester.
An extra day. Math students only have convo on Wednesdays, but like performance people have it on Mondays and Wednesdays.
Wait, hold on a minute. Because don't you guys schedule it for where it's like the Monday, Wednesday time?
Well, it's scheduled as the Monday, Wednesday time, but
right.
Math majors will never meet on a Monday.
Nobody ever meets on a Monday.
No one ever meets on the Monday?
No, because that's when studios are held.
Oh, that's makes more sense.
That's when studio and ensembles are held. And so, like, as you know, like, there's the condos outside of the Wednesday times, which math majors will sometimes facilitate and stuff. But,
yeah.
And I think that's a separate credit, too. Like, you have to facilitate, like, the audio stuff for a certain number of convos.
Yeah, it's a class, which is, like, on live mixing. But we have this thing. We have the thing where we can go to shows outside of the school. As long as we take a picture of the playbill or the ticket, we can get the convo credit for that.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I would already be done with convo with the amount of house shows I've been to.
That's mainly what I do, is that I'll just go to like see a play at my old high school because I have friends that still do that.
Oh, nice.
Or I'll go see a musical or something and I'll just like get the convo credit and then just never go to the Wednesday convo. Like last semester I went to like 3 convos probably. Like total, because then I went to Matt Showcase,
right,
and then I went to like a bunch of other stuff. I saw like 4 musicals that semester. It was crazy,
dude. So after my first semester at Western, I had no idea where the convo schedule was, and when I found it, I literally swore from that day that I would go to every single convocation event that I possibly could. And I think in my second semester here, I went to at least 25.
That's crazy.
Like minimum.
Like sometimes they're like so boring.
No, dude, let me tell you my art of taking a convo nap. I am the master of taking convo naps. And my friends are always shocked because I'll sit down and I usually have a certain spot. I usually like to sit on like the right side. And if anybody here going to convos, you'll catch me. You'll catch me snoozing. And there was one time where I straight up woke up and I was drooling. I was drooling from my mouth. I just was so tired. And sometimes if I go with friends, they'll like wake me up and be like, dude, you were snoring. Like, it's really bad.
It's crazy.
The last convo I went to, I actually was able to stay awake for that. And I was impressed with myself.
Did you go to the music educator one? That was like the one before break, I think.
No, I definitely slept in that one.
Yeah, it was so long. People had to leave early because they just kept going and going. But it was a good convo.
I think I did go to that one, and one of the friends that ended up coming, they had to leave early, because they had to like go dog sitting or whatever, but they still got the credit.
Yeah. Okay, well, now that we're off, we should probably hop off the topic of convo, which is really specific.
We could literally talk about it for ages.
I could also talk about, so let's see. Is there anything interesting or exciting you're working on in school right now?
My practicum audition.
Yeah.
I'm working to get into practicum this semester, and it's been kind of interesting because I've worked with a lot of the repertoire that I have to do in the past, but it's different in this kind of setting because they have a certain expectation for what I can do, but those expectations are super easy for me. Like my primary instrument at Western is guitar. And I have a lot of experience on the piano before I came here. And like, I also play the bass really well, and I'm like a drummer. Like, that's what I do is Jackal Blood. Like, I'm a singer and a guitar player and the bass player and the drummer. I'm a solo artist, and I do all of it with live instrumentation. So coming into Western, I was already equipped to do practicum in the performance sense, which made me very different from like a lot of my peers. And it hasn't been that bad. We have to learn like 16 songs, and we have to be able to transpose all of them on the spot in like 5 different keys.
Yuck.
But that's super easy for me.
Well, I'm glad you're in the right major then, because if they told me to do that, I would probably quit.
Well, it's like super easy songs. It's not like I'm playing Bach and it's like, okay, well, this is E flat major. Now play it in G sharp minor.
Okay. Got it.
You know,
it's not,
or some crazy thing like that.
Yeah, because like when you say practicum, like a practicum in my major is like my midterm, which is like go in to the studio, look at the 32 channel Machionics, and tell me exactly what it does front and back, and also open a session in Pro Tools and record. And so like that's what I literally went in this morning and practiced.
That sounds so much fun for me.
Yeah, it's great, and I understand that. But if you told me to hop up on stage and like be proficient enough in an instrument to play something in modulated keys, like I play the French horn, but I play it for fun. I do not play the French horn to be good at the French horn.
No, that's what it is for me. Like I played the guitar. We're gonna get into this really quickly. The reason why I learned how to play guitar. So when I was, I'm so sorry for throwing us off track again.
No, you're fine.
I feel like I am the president of Distraction Town. When I was younger, my parents threw me on piano, and I hated it because they were forcing me to learn how to play the piano, and I was like, "What the heck?" They've kept me doing that for 3 years. I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. And somewhere along the way, I picked up the piano again, just like on my own. I was like, okay, I'm into this again. Just like right before high school. And that next summer, after kind of getting back into piano and starting to get better again, I was like, I want to learn how to play the guitar because I wanted a girlfriend. So it was in July of 2015, and I was staying the weekend at my cousin's house, my cousin and my aunt and uncle up in Ann Arbor, and he played the guitar. And I knew nothing about the guitar. I could go into a guitar store and maybe muster up the energy and knowledge to play Seven Nation Army.
Yeah, felt.
And he was like, yeah, so like, here's the guitar. And I was like, whoa. And the first chord that I ever learned how to play was an E major suspended 4.
Oh, yeah.
But not the complicated one, just like at the bottom of the neck. And it was like, that was the first chord I learned. And then I went back home and my former stepdad was like, here's a D major chord. And I'm like, the heck is this? What kind of chord is this? And then when I found out about G major, I was, there's no way.
Yeah, G major chord. I always start people off with E minor and G major.
E minor, G major?
Because
I feel like the easiest one, it's E minor, A major.
I go for G major because like once you learn the 2 fingers, adding a third one ain't all that hard.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's like you have to do that weird kind of stretch, and you never know which one to teach them. Like, do you teach them the one with the D and the G, or the B and the G?
I try always to go for the most open strings.
Yeah.
Cause like a D major chord would be nice, but like then you have to be like, oh, but don't hit this string, because otherwise it's gonna
don't hit those 2 strings.
Yeah, otherwise it's gonna sound like crap, and people get confused really quick.
Oh yeah.
So
it's kind of funny.
Anyway, we beep. We were talking about practicums.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Great.
What?
So you write your own music, right?
I do.
And it's solo artist, so you do full instrumentation and you produce it as well? Mm-hmm. Perfect. Cool. Yeah, I remember the olden days when I used to do that. It is like the most draining thing.
It is very draining. But like, I would say what keeps me continuing to do it is like my purpose for doing solo work.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I really tried finding a band that would work with me. And I mean, it was even to the point when I still went to Eastern Michigan University. I met this guy on Tinder who was down in like Toledo. And he was like, I'm looking for band members. And I was like, I'd be down. But I was also interested in him. And so I auditioned for this band. I came up with a verse for one of their songs. It was like a metalcore band down in Toledo.
Yeah, okay.
I was so down bad to be a part of a project that literally every single week I would drive from Ypsilanti to Toledo and I would stay there the entire day recording and writing. And honestly, Andrew and Brian and the rest of those guys are they're very nice people, but it was really weird being an 18-year-old driving down to Toledo every weekend and hanging out with guys that are married.
That's crazy. That's so crazy.
But they're all wonderful people. And every time I drive down to Toledo, I always try and meet up with Andrew because he's just such a nice guy.
Yeah. Like, let's see. I went to high school in like rural Papa. And there were like maybe 10 kids who could play an instrument that wasn't from concert bands, and like 5 of those kids were down to be in a band maybe even once.
Yeah.
And so I was band hopping probably like 3 different bands before I even graduated.
Oh yeah.
And it's just it's way better in my opinion. It's a lot more fun to make music with a band, but just having a band is almost as draining as being a solo artist.
It is. And honestly, it's like you have to work around so many different people's schedules.
Oh my goodness. And
it's like finding that time, like no wonder we could only always meet on that Saturday.
Yeah, literally.
And there was another band that I had in high school where it wasn't as bad trying to schedule it. And like we'll jam sometimes when I'm back home. I'm from the east side of the state. And one of the first rehearsals that me and this guy Eitan ever had, and this was before Jackal Blood was a project. I was like, all right, let's figure out who's going to do what. So we found this drummer and he was really crazy. Like, he was like crazy good. Okay. Not like insane.
Okay, because I've been like, I feel like drummers are either like really good but weird personality or super mellow but just like mediocre to bad.
No, he's honestly probably the best drummer that I've ever met in my entire life. Not in terms of like playing. He's an incredible drummer, and he's really good at what he does, and he knows when to shut up, and he knows when to play really good.
That's a good drummer skill.
That's an amazing drummer skill. Because you ever try and tune your guitar, you're just like, all right, what friggin' note is this? Yeah, just like the drummers will just go insane. But the first rehearsal that me and this guy Eitan ever had to try and make a band, we were like, all right, what kind of roles do we want to do? I was like, I don't mind doing rhythm guitar or bass or lead. Like, I'm good with anything. And he was like, I want to do lead guitar. I was like, all right, awesome. Like,
perfect.
Let's see what you got. He pulls out like some stupid 7 Nation Army thing. It's not that good.
And you're like, uh-oh. And
I was like, uh-oh, I'm really about to show this guy up and I'm going to feel really bad. And I showed him up and he was like, okay, I'll do rhythm guitar. And before it even left his mouth, I didn't know this was a huge no-no, but I was like, you mind just like hopping on bass?
Oh no!
You mind just hopping on bass? We don't have a bass player. And to my surprise, not. He sucked at the bass. I like tried getting him to do like these 16th notes, even with a pick, just like da 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 da. He couldn't.
Yeah, I'm working on this project for one of my friends' finals, and it's just like the bass part. With all due respect, I'm playing bass on our project, and the bass part is like so uninspired. It's 16th notes or 8th notes on the tonic of each chord. But it's kind of fast. It's like 120-ish, and she's like, I was like,
that's kind of slow actually.
Well, yeah,
it's about a medium
but
pace.
for the song she's doing, I was like, it feels fast, so it might not be 8th notes, it might be 16th, but whatever it is, all I know is I gotta go do da 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 da.
Yeah,
and so yeah, but I was basically like, I'll probably pick this just because it'll just probably be easier for me because I had the most experience in like punk rock groups where I played the bass and you just pick the bass no matter what. And she was like, I think maybe finger picking. And I was like,
where's the attack?
The attack? And I was like, so like I started doing the finger picking and I was way out of practice with my finger picking. And like, I got like halfway in and I was like,
nah, I can't do this.
I'm going to have to switch to a pick, and she's probably just not going to notice, hopefully. So
yeah. On my first album though, I think I was so hardcore dedicated to like not using a pick for the bass. And I remember on my song Save It, and I wasn't that great at producing back then, but you can maybe muster up hearing me try to play the bass finger style, and I'm doing like and it's like it's crazy. It's like 200 BPM, crazy fast song, like super hyped up jam, and I was struggling so hard to play the bass and then trying to sync that up with the drums. I remember for that song specifically, I had to retake the drums and the bass so many times. I would do the bass and then I would get on the drums and like, it's out of sync. And then I would delete the bass and I'd do the drums and I'd go back to the bass. I'm like, it's out of sync.
yeah.
And it must have been at least 5 times.
I always used to think that like, oh man, you just gotta finger pick the bass, bro. That's what all the cool cats do.
Yeah.
And then I realized like in the genre where I most perform, and just for the sanity of my little baby fingers, I'm like, I think I might be a pick guy.
I've got little stumpies. I got little stumpies, I feel like.
Yeah, I was like, and like, when I learned how to do finger picking, I learned in like a really classical way where I use my pointer and my thumb. And so I don't use these two, I use these two, and it just makes my life so difficult. And it's just like, oh man, I'm on the pick train.
Yeah. Well, like with finger style stuff, when you're doing bass, you got to have the thumb action.
Yeah, it's just.
And that was honestly the hardest thing for me to learn when it came to the bass. And then when I discovered slap, I was like, ooh. I was like, ooh, this is gonna be so cool.
I remember when I like asked my coworker like who played the bass, and I was like, so slap, you hit it? And he's like, yeah, you hit it. And I was like, how? He's like, just hit it. And I was like, no, but like, how do you do the hits? And he's like, all you gotta do is hit it, bro. And I'm like, oh my lord. I feel like
do you know how to do slap or not really? Okay.
Yeah, kind of a little bit. I just never have the need or opportunity to play it.
Okay.
But and so like I feel like the 3 brain cells that bassists can like must together, none of them know how to teach another person how to play the bass. Dude,
their brains are so fried. Their brains are so fried.
Yeah. So like anyway.
Okay, but full respect to bass players because you guys really hold down the actual sound.
Thank you, rhythm section.
You're very welcome, bass section. Well, because I've been a bass player in projects and I know how important it is to hold it down despite how mediocre the part is, even if it's just like holding for 4 counts, hold for 4, Yeah. It's so much more important than people make it out to be.
For sure, yeah. I actually, yeah. 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 Let's see. I think it's time for a song. We've been talking a lot. We've been having some good time. What song do you want to listen to?
Oh.
We could listen to. Oh, you're a verified artist on Spotify.
I am.
Congrats.
Well, it's DistroKid. It's DistroKid, guys. I'm not that special. Okay. Pick a number 1 through 3.
My favorite number is 5.
No, that's not an option. It can be an option later.
Oh,
but
okay.
Just pick 1 through 3 right now.
I probably I think even numbers are kind of weird, so like 1 is probably good.
Okay. So we're gonna be listening to a song from my first album.
Okay.
And I'm going to choose the song Alive.
Okay, let me find your first album.
It's called Basement Tracks.
Okay. Popular releases, albums. Oh, I see it. Oh no. Okay.
Arnar.
Oh no, Emma.
Oh no.
Okay. This is probably good. We'll listen to it. It is 4 minutes and 1 second. Talk over it if you want. It doesn't matter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, if you want to like comment on this song,
Yeah.
we can.
This was the first song that I made when Jackal Blood was like redefined. Honestly, because Basement Tracks was supposed to be the only album I ever put out. And I just kind of kept on getting inspired after that, but it was just kind of like, in my eyes, it was supposed to be like a very much greatest hits kind of deal. Like, these are the best songs that I've written up to this point, and like, I'm very proud of myself. I didn't do the best job at producing it because I didn't know what I was doing. I taught myself. And this was kind of the first song that really got put together. And I wrote this during COVID.
Make me feel alive.
Yeah, producing your own stuff is hard.
Yeah, you can hear I kind of drowned it in reverb, just a little. But I like just learned how to use a multipressor. And I did this in GarageBand actually.
Nice.
Logic now, by the way. I'm not using GarageBand anymore.
That's good. Hey, you know what? We have someone who came on here and used GarageBand, and they make great music.
Yeah,
so.
GarageBand is way more powerful than people make it out to be.
Yeah, I got Logic for Christmas because I needed it for some of my classes.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, this is kind of just like GarageBand, but like better.
But better.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if you knew this, but there's you can get like the student pack.
That's what I got, yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, I need this for school.
Yeah. But like at this part of the song, it was supposed to kind of represent like an anxious, like I'm pulling back, like you can hurt me if you need to. Mm-hmm. And that's what the song is about. Is like I feel like I need to be hurt in order to feel love.
Slice my veins. It's just to feel alive.
And I've got this so epic guitar solo coming up.
I'm excited.
It's probably my worst guitar solo, but it has the most charm in my opinion. Like very short, to the point.
Yeah. Nice. Good song.
Good song. Good soup, man.
Good soup. That was great soup. Is there anything you're working on, like, improving right now?
Improving. No.
That's cool.
I mean, like, I know that the production in Basement Tracks wasn't the best. I feel like you're kind of referring to that.
No, I'm like,
No.
just as an artist or maybe a person or maybe just like whatever, anything you're working to improve on. It's just like a stock question I asked.
Oh, okay.
I'm not calling your stuff garbage.
No, it is.
No, it
Guys,
was good.
Jackal Blood is trash. Do not listen to Jackal Blood, but also listen to Jackal Blood.
You could be one of the monthly listeners.
Oh, you could be.
You could
You
be.
you could also be one of the followers that I have on Spotify
Yeah, you could be one
or
of
my
them.
Instagram.
Yeah, for sure.
Jackal Blood official. Because I felt so important that I needed to have the official in
The
my
official
name.
in your name. Got it.
At least until I get my Instagram verification.
Get your little check mark you can pay like $5 for, or is that Twitter?
Oh, you can get verified on Twitter for money, but I don't know how it works on Instagram. So, people with Instagram, Mark Zuckerberg.
What's it up?
What's up, dude? Come on. Like, what's even the big deal? Like, just verify me, guys.
Yeah, man. Like, I thought you were supposed to be on that, bro.
Yeah.
You really need to get working on that.
Yeah, for real.
For real, bro.
Like, I'm official, guys. I went on tour. Like, I'm legit now.
When you went on tour, did you go with touring musicians or did you have a band?
No, I was a solo artist on tour.
Did you play a backing track?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And actually, tour was really, really hard. I extremely underestimated how difficult it would be. No,
Sorry.
not the notifications.
Not the notey.
But I strongly underestimated how hard going on tour would be because at first it was going okay. Actually, it was really hard at the start because I wanted to get just like a set lineup of people to go on tour with.
Yeah.
And I found out how painstakingly impossible that is when you're in the DIY scene.
Yeah.
Because I reached out to so many bands. I at that point I had recently gone to a Seaholm show and me and them had kind of gotten connected and I was like, hey guys, want to come on tour with me? And they were like, yeah. And I got so excited and they were like, ooh, but we can't make those dates because we're going on our own tour. And I was like, no.
Yeah.
And it was just a very wild experience. Just like reaching out to all of these people from all these different places. I mean, I made connections in Wisconsin, Indiana, Ohio, Illinois. You know, I just met all of these wonderful people. And I actually ended up reconnecting with an old friend from a band in Chicago called Broken Demeanor. And my friend Grant is in that. And we knew each other from high school. And so all of this really crazy stuff was going on. And I was making all these connections. And now, like, me and Leisure Hour are really good friends, if you know them. And I've really gotten connected and integrated, I feel like, in this scene that I just really love so much. And finding that kind of like set perfect amount was really hard for me. So I mean, literally every single night of the tour, I played with different people.
That's crazy.
It was every single night. So on the first night at the Abyss, it was with Celestial and the Pointless Painters Club, and they ended up coming from like Ypsilanti. And then the next night, I was playing with Curfews, which is now known as Fane, and Normal Park, and there was one other band that was on that lineup, which is Wedding. And then I played in Fort Wayne. And playing in Indiana was actually really complicated because I set up a show at this place called the Wheelhouse. Do you know about this? Any of this kind of stuff?
Well, kind of, but I don't know. I'm not particular with the Wheelhouse, personally.
That's fair. So, in Muncie, there was a venue that started up called the Wheelhouse. The guy was really nice. He was actually from Kalamazoo. And we got a show set up with Mushroom Teeth, different from Mushroom Jam.
Yeah, don't get them confused.
Do not get them confused. Mushroom Jam, they're all wonderful, great people. Mushroom Teeth was called out for some stuff, and I was playing with Golden Alley as well that night. That show got canceled because the Wheelhouse shut down.
Oh, okay.
And if you want to read about all of that stuff, you can find it on Muncie Music Scene on Instagram. I'm sure you can look through and find some posts about it. But there was all this crazy stuff, and it was like a month before I went on tour. So a month before I went on tour, I had to scramble an entire new lineup and a completely new venue in less than a week. And I did it. And that's how I made connections with Seventh Cloud Society and this other band from Muncie called Free Joel. And they are so good. Please check out Free Joel. And Lauren Grace. And then I played at the Raven Cafe the next night. It was a lot of driving. And then I played at the Runoff with Jen's Apartment, January Man, and Final Boss Fight. And it felt so cool headlining at a Final Boss Fight show. Just might I mention, they're all wonderful people. All the people that I worked with on tour are just truly amazing. And I just saying, if you guys hear this, let's get something together, huh?
Let's jam.
Let's jam or something. I don't know.
I know just from personal experience of being in a band and a van. Actually, no, we used to jam all of our band stuff into my Honda CR-V. We would have the drum kit in the back, and everyone's instruments would be on their lap,
and they're just holding their guitar.
Yeah.
Yup.
And the amps are stacked, and the guy is on the middle, and I have my bass shoved in the passenger side on whoever's sitting there.
Right, back window. What is that?
No, I can't see crap because there's a drum kit in my trunk.
Right, you better be braking slow when it comes to that light.
Yeah, so I just know from personal experience that booking venues and being in a band is really hard.
It is really hard.
And it's really draining. And you're sometimes you're I just want to make music, man.
No, literally. And that's a lot of this kind of industry work and selling merchandise and promoting all the time and all this stuff. It's not the shows that drain me, and it's not the music that drains me, but it's the actual element of of pushing myself out there. Yeah. I don't want to feel forceful on people. I don't want to feel this is who I'm presenting as online, because that's not who I am in person. I want people to know that I want to be there. Yeah. I want to be there for the show, and I want to be able to talk to you. I feel that's, and I don't know how other people feel about this, but I feel that's where I differ is I don't like promoting. Yeah. It's the worst part about it for me.
Yeah. Do you ever feel you get burnt out? Yeah.
Yeah. I've been going through a very major burnout period recently because of some stuff going on in my personal life. And up until this point, I've written, produced, and put out an album every single summer. So for the past 3 summers since 2020, I've put out an album. Yeah. Because that's just what I've been passionate about. It's my summer project. But this time around, I've decided to pull back. Yeah. It's I need to fix myself. And it's been really weird. I still want to play shows. I still want to go out into the community and be around all these wonderful people. Because at the end of the day, and I don't know when you're going to ask me who inspires me the most, but honestly, it's the scene. They are the people that drive me. Yeah. Because in my eyes, Jackal Blood isn't just me. Jackal Blood is me and everybody else that wants to be a part of it. And I'm not saying I'm a cult. I promise I'm not a cult. unless you want it to be. But like, I find that all of the people and all of this and all of this stuff and topics of like self-recovery and, you know, loving yourself and being there for yourself, that's what drives Jackal Blood. And it's what drives me to continue wanting to do better. And obviously I have some musical inspirations.
Yeah.
But it is also like from the scene. And yeah. I didn't really know where I was going with that after I said that, but yeah.
Yeah. Is there anyone that you'd like love to work with? It could be anyone.
You put me in such a hard position because I really want to. I'm gonna do it. You know who I really want to work with?
Who?
Your mom.
I can tell you don't want to work with my mom. She's a criminal defense lawyer. So if you're working with my mom, then you're probably in some trouble.
I do not retract that statement. I do not retract that statement. But I don't know who I would want to work with. I've done some work with Griff Paws, if you know him. And he's like a... Okay, cool.
Yummy.
I'm quitting vaping, so that's what this is. After literally years.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, good for you, bro.
Thank you. Thank you. And thank you so much.
No problem.
Thanks, homie. Fist bump from across the room. But I don't really know who I'd want to work with. I remember my dream band from when I was younger. If I can remember everything, it was like I wanted the bass player from Rise Against.
Okay.
The lead guitar player from Bullet for My Valentine.
Got it.
Of course I wanted to be the vocalist.
We all do.
We all want to be the vocalist and the lead singer. And I mean, you heard I don't have a horrible voice.
No, your voice is pretty cool.
It's bearable.
Yeah. Let me tell you, I've been around Kalamazoo for a hot sec, and I've listened. Yeah, and I've listened to many a band where I just wish the singer would shut up, and I could actually stand their music.
Right, like lead singer, you're great, but like pull back a little bit because this instrumentation is just so cool.
It's like it's always with these local punk bands. It's like the drummer can't drum, the guitarist is great. I don't want to listen to the singer. Please just shut up.
Yeah.
Turn up the bass because he's jamming.
He's drowned.
Yeah, you can't even hear him.
Let him cook.
So yeah, that's just my main experience with local bands. It's just like,
yeah. And like, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of people in this scene that are really incredible.
Oh, for sure.
Like if you think about Mushroom Jam, I mean, they don't sing even that much.
No, but Emma's great. Both of them.
Emma Z.
Both of them. I like both Emmas.
I love Emma Z. Me and them are homies.
Nice.
It's funny. They I met them through like they messaged me on Instagram and they were like, "Hey, let's collaborate." And we kind of started talking and we realized that we're from the same area. We had the same upbringing because we're both Jewish.
That's crazy.
And like there's this kind of unknown thing about the east side of the state where like if you're from there and you're Jewish, you know each other, even if you've never met.
Got it.
So it's like, oh yeah, I knew you from my friend's mom's physician.
Got it. Yeah.
Just some really weird stuff like that, and that's how me and Emma knew each other.
Got it.
And we just became really good friends. And she's incredible. She's an incredible artist and a great singer.
Her voice is lovely.
It is. I don't know if you've been looking at their Instagram, but they've been like posting covers every day.
Crazy. Let's see, where are we at? Okay, let's do another song. I want another one.
Yeah, I'm gonna choose one this time.
Okay, you can choose one this time.
Yeah, I'm going to choose from In a Way I'm Alive Again.
Okay.
My most recent album.
Yeah.
Wait, now I don't know which one to pick.
We'll pick a number 1 through 10. Oh, no, JK, some of them are explicit.
Oh man, I was gonna choose the explicit ones. Now I've got to get on my phone because I have such a big catalog that I can't even remember every single thing that I put out.
Yeah, guys. You know, Jackal Blood, they're not down with the times anymore. They've gotten too big.
No, literally. Guys, I'm too big for the scene. I'm leaving y'all.
So,
all right, catch me at Madison Square Garden in 2 days. But actually, I'm playing March 30th at Mulligan's Pub.
Nice.
And you should come because we've got a great lineup. Drez and Friends are playing as well as Fane, and they're all such wonderful people. And I'm so excited for this show because I am, and I love playing live because I do. Okay. Wow. I love the service in here. It's
non-existent. Yeah, these walls are padded, and it's not. It's not for my sanity. It's so that we don't get any cell service.
Oh man, the 2 songs that I want to play off this album are explicit.
That sucks for you.
It does suck. It really sucks. I could just play it live and not be explicit.
Yeah, we have a guitar.
I'll just yeah, I guess we just don't really have time. That's okay though.
That's okay though.
That's okay though. It's fine.
Sometimes we get to talking.
Yeah, talking is fun. Did you have any other questions for me?
Honestly, if there's nothing else you want to talk about, I'm feeling pretty cool.
Okay.
I've had a good time today.
Yeah,
so.
I've also had a good time.
Cool.
This went way awesomer than I was thinking.
Yeah, me too.
Woo!
we get a very large cast of characters on the show, and you know, it's
and
nice.
I'm definitely one of them.
It's nice, yeah. Cool. Okay. Well, thank you for tuning in, everyone, our dear listeners, and probably all of your friends, and
I
maybe
hope so.
like your mom or your dad or something, or something. And yeah, it's been a great episode. Thank you for being here. Yay!
Yay!
That was it. Okay, we're done. Cool.
Yeah.
Woo!
We good?
Yeah, we're good.
Awesome.